Jordan Belfort, also known as the Wolf of Wall Street, was such a big influence in the financial world that a whole movie was made about his story. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street hit the big screens in 2013, and it immediately became a hit. The movie portrayed this story in such an interesting way that people began to look into the real life story. How did Jordan Belfort actually get caught? What happened afterwards? In this video, we will be taking a deep look into how Jordan Belfort got caught. But before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment below after doing so. At the end of every month, we'll be picking one lucky person in the comments to be shouted out in our videos. Belfort was born in 1962 in the Bronx borough of New York City to a Jewish family. He was raised in Bayside, Queens, and between completing high school and starting college, Belfort and his close childhood friend Elliot Lowenstern earned $20,000 selling Italian ice from styrofoam coolers to people at a local beach. Belfort went on to graduate from American University with a degree in biology. He planned on using the money earned with Lowenstern to pay for dental school, and he enrolled at the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. But he left after the dean of the school said to him on his first day, "The golden age of dentistry is over. If you're here simply because you're looking to make a lot of money, you're in the wrong place." So Belfort became a door-to-door meat and seafood salesman on Long Island, New York. He claims in interviews that the business was an initial success. He grew his meat selling business to employ several workers and sold 5,000 pounds of beef and fish a week. But the business ultimately failed as he filed for bankruptcy at 25. A family friend helped him find a job as a trainee stockbroker at LF Rothschild. Belfort says he was laid off after the firm experienced financial difficulties related to the Black Monday stock market crash of 1987. But soon after, Belfort founded Stratton Oakmont as a franchise of Stratton Securities. Stratton Oakmont functioned as a boiler room that marketed penny stocks and defrauded investors with a pump and dump type of stock sales. During his years there, Belfort developed a lifestyle that consisted of lavish parties and intensive recreational use of drugs. The one he used the most was called Quaaludes. He became addicted to it. At one point, this company employed over 1,000 stockbrokers and was involved in stock issues totaling more than $1 billion. The firm was targeted by law enforcement officials throughout nearly its entire history. It was under constant scrutiny from the National Association of Securities Dealers. And finally, in 1996, the NASD expelled Stratton Oakmont, putting it out of business. Belfort was then indicted for securities fraud and money laundering in 1999. Belfort served 22 months of a 4-year sentence at the Taft Correctional Institute in Taft, California, in exchange for a plea deal with the FBI for the pump and dump scams which he ran that led to investor losses of approximately $200 million. He was ordered to pay back $110 million that he swindled from stock buyers, and while he was in prison, he shared a cell with Tommy Chong, and Chong encouraged him to write about his experiences as a stockbroker. They both remained friends even after he left prison. Belfort credited Chong for his new career direction as a motivational speaker and writer. Belfort's restitution agreement required him to pay 50% of his income towards restitution to the 1,500 clients he defrauded in 2009. With a total of $110 million in restitution. In October 2013, federal prosecutors filed a complaint against Belfort. Several days later, the US government withdrew its motion to find Belfort in default of his payments after his lawyers argued that he had only been responsible for paying 50% of his salary tuition up to 2009 and not since. But going back to what his cellmate suggested, he wrote 2 memoirs, The Wolf of Wall Street and Catching the Wolf of Wall Street, which have been published in approximately 40 countries. Then a movie based on his books opened in 2013 with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, and Margaret Robbie. He wrote his first book in the days following his release from prison, and he received a $500,000 advance from Random House. And before its release, a bidding war began for the book's film rights. Nowadays, Belfort is a motivational speaker. He's appeared on many interviews talking about what he did and how he learned from his mistakes. He now runs a YouTube channel with over 200,000 subscribers where he gives business tips and sales advice. It's good that he learned from his mistakes, and it was definitely an interesting story. He did have to face some time, not that much, but still he faced some, but his story will live on forever. And that wraps up today's video on how the Wolf of Wall Street got caught. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and drop a like.